Disco Fever. It's running, but we got Scamby sockets here, 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 and here. If I twist any of these like that, look, it locked up the board, locked up the game. So we need new chip sockets. Replace all the Scambies. Driver board interconnector, missing a pin. Let's see, there, there, and there. They're just broken off. So we'll have to get a new interconnect. Okay, so this is a System 3 board. You can tell because it says -3 there. So what I've done is I've converted to a System 4 board by doing a little cut and jump right here. You can see the little jumper wire I did, and I had to cut a trace there. And what that allows me to do is use a single 2716 for IC14 instead of the 2 chips here. So it means 1 less chip, less power, 2 less sockets. I have to replace these crappy Scamby sockets. So I had to put a socket in here, replace that socket, and then replace this socket. They were all Scambies. He's got a remote battery holder in, or kind of a remote, kind of on a little stand. I think that'll be sufficient. That'll probably work fine. And then we just got to go to the driver board and resolder the connector, the header pins. I had to do it on this board too. Resolder all these guys. They all had cracked solder joints. And also down here on these. Almost forgot to replace this Scamby socket too. This is the chip for the clock circuit on the 6800 processor. New 40-pin interconnector. Resoldered all the header pins on the edge of the board. Interesting tip of the day. This is Disco Fever, so these are white flipper ROMs, these guys right here. White flipper ROMs have one advantage. I mean, they have terrible diagnostic abilities. I mean, it's just hard to use them, and you got to set everything through dip switches and stand on your head and rub your tummy. But one thing good is that you can boot these games with no driver board. I've got the driver board sitting right here. It's not even installed in the game. You can't do this System 4, 6, or 7. Yeah, and you can turn it on with no driver board installed, and it'll go. The displays will all light up. Of course, the advantage of booting with the driver board installed is that it'll boot up into a track mode, opposed to when you just have the CPU board and it'll only boot into audit mode. So when we bring it out now, say it comes up with zeros in the credit and ball and the high score of 350,000. It's a good idea to remove the power supply board, and again check the header pins for cracked solder joints right here. I can see a couple. You gotta check these, and also the square ones right here. These are the 2 square plugs. They like to get cracked solder joints too, but on this board it was up here on this connector that was having the problems. Okay, these 2 digits are missing the lower segment. 10 to 1, it's going to be one of these 1 ohm resistors. There's several over here and several over here. Look, as a matter of fact, you can see this one, it's just black. Probably replacing that, and we'll hopefully fix this missing segment on those player 3 and 4 displays. K resistor, I got testing one of them. Look, it's 10K on the meter. Go to the one that's burnt over on this side right there and put it on there, and look, it's open. So that's why that segment isn't working. It's because this resistor right there is burned up. Put a new 10K resistor right there, and voila, now the bottom segments are working on the display. All the junk replaced: 40-pin interconnector, solenoid fuse, which always blows when the interconnector or the sockets are bad. The 4 ROMs were replaced with 3 2716 EEPROMs, and of course 4 sockets, and added a socket where there was none for IC14. That's why we did the modification of the board. Also, he did the battery holder with his neat little standoff AAA battery holder, which works pretty good. Here we go, start a game. Ball in the shooter lane. Hit the B. Check these guys. I reset. Could probably use a little cleaning on those. Banana flippers. Man. Oh, look. look, you can catch them real good,
Oh,
though.
look at that. I like.